of exactly what you're talking about here, because I don't really understand what he was saying there. Oh lord, is everyone sitting comfortably? La mirror, it was the middle of the... here we have the point I made earlier. If the mirrors was standing there, then he would be able to see the vase in the photo we have. La mirror, it was the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two elves. Yeah. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That la seat at the table next to the victims that was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. I see. So, no problems with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victim, Mr. Kudo should have seen the victim in the mirror. What another little conquete I am, confusing all the men like this. Don't worry about it. Okay. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in cold sweat over there again. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? Volunteers, of course. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you please. Yeah. If he didn't touch anything else, then the Kudo could not have sit there. So, I know I can press, but I have to try. Too fast. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Oh! Spot on! Your Honor, Mr. Kudo's words yesterday strongly contradict Mr. Armstrong's testimony. This is the letter of apology that was written by Mr. Kudo, is it not? I realize it looks useless, Your Honor, but this is still testimony. I guess useless people are only really good at identifying useless things. Mosquito! Oh, Mr. comes in a little bit. Where are you? Where did he go? Where's the mosquito? It's here somewhere. What relevance does this scrap of paper have to do with the trial, Mr. Wright? Mr. Kudo's testimony is actually very relevant to the question at hand, Your Honor. Because it very clearly contradicts this piece of evidence. Not that. I've already done that. That's a bad one. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor. The crime photo. Yeah, because the vase is still standing. Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist. Sounds like you're describing yourself. You're the one to talk. You're talking like some sort of metaphoric metaphor. Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is something that should not exist? The vase. It's easy. It's a vase. There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court has seen, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all. Don't be an idiot. Try. That is impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Yeah, but you're still on with the reflection part. You never saw the reflection. Exactly. Exactly. Wait, what? What do you mean? There was only one conclusion we can draw from his contradiction. This contradiction. There was no mirror in Trespian that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Oh, the flower just died. Don't try confusing the court. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Unfortunately, Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the court in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? Apparently sniffle. That's right, there was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we turn back to the original problem. Everything he had. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear which he could not hear? In an ear he could not hear. And he's just... You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that mirror wasn't there, try it. And this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction? Just one more than just one... Just this one contradiction. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's true. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. I love that the CD is in a CD player. I don't think the dude know how this is supposed to be used. But at the same time, there is a virus going on in the computer system. So I think he just hid it there very badly. It all flies in the face of Mitikudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradiction in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. There, I'm gonna take that. This case is a riddle with contradictions, yet there is only one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced. No problem, Third Girl. I see you on Thursday then. So have a good evening. Have a good Wednesday as well, and Thursday. The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Alley at all. He was an imposter. A pony pretending to be Alley. That sounds weird. A pony pretending to be Alley. Because an Alley is a moose in Swedish. That's weird. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. True. I do love he's just smiling like cockily like that. Drink something and then just spit his out like shit. Order in court, settle down or I'll clear the courtroom. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? Ooh, he is not having this right now, Godot. What did you just say? Are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a set? Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Alley and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo. Get real. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was Starving Girl brought him a javakino, but he put something in it. Yeah, that thing. It's so hard to believe, but there was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. Sorry, but my nose right now is to show Maggie Birdie the act of poisoning the coffee. Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time. It's also true that the chef were there he would have noticed what was happening. Yeah, but he is in cahoots! That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such a theatrics, you would have known about it, correct? This is most difficult for me. It's not. If the truth is that nothing happened, then it's not difficult. No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You're on the oath after all. Was there in fact a pony at Tresby that day? The defendant demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. The defense request for additional testimony is acceptable. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day. I don't know what will happen when I break him. Because he is breaking me by just looking at him. The victim, Monsieur Ellie, came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word of he won the lottery, Mon Ellie became very excited. Yet now the earpiece is on the wrong part, at the right place. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. There was no time for a pony to do the acting. Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all. You was demand pardon, forgive me, Your Honor. I love because I want this mess all to be cleared up quickly. Yeah, why do you want it to be cleared up quickly, might I ask? What you have just done is commit perjury, Miss Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. Yeah, you just took a fall for no one. For now, we will hear your cross-examination, Mr. Wright, if you please. Yeah, he is sweating through everything. He's a sweaty boy. A petite boy. Ugh. Why did he say it like that? I'm just checking my wall because I have this thing from my own game here and it's like, what do I actually have to do? Nice wee, I saw him from the kitchen. Yet the defendant, Miss Birdie, remember it's differently. He swears there was another man. Was I bitten by a mosquito in my face or what? He swears there was another man at the victim's table. Oh. Unfortunately for you, Troy. Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet taste. What kind of coffee has this been drinking? It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that is bittersweet. Maybe Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden. I remember the old man, I know. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct? Oui, it comes often from my special coffee. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. It's like a ride to hell and back. Oh. You make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome anytime. I said it was worth the sip, nothing more. So old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. Out of curiosity, what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived? Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur. I believe we were told by the waitress yesterday. Crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness? The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. So the victim must have arrived around 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m. none? Just of 2, huh? I can't sit here all and do nothing now, can I? Oh. The time of day will be added to witness testimony. Merci bien, that's French, isn't it? I've been humming a song to myself. Are you absolutely certain about the time? When I think really hard, I am sure it was just after 2. It is the time I stopped serving la lunch menu. Quite right. I always break for lunch when the restaurants are serving their specials. Even known to wind up a case early just makes it on time. Now I feel like I want to go to a restaurant. Welcome, humble viewer, by the way, to the stream I'm holding here. Yeah, just because of the whole thing, I'm not going out to eat out right now. So I just feel like when this is over, I'm gonna go to a restaurant and eat. Just because I just felt for it now. Probably gonna go to Hell's Burgers. They did a good burger there. Kinda expensive, but like it was nice. But at the same time, it was the same as Barber, which is a place here in Sweden. I just don't know if they are fully the same. I guess you should never get between a hungry judge and his lunch. Oh, will you look at that? It's almost lunchtime already. Witness, get on with your testimony, please. Yeah, and here we have a scary-ass guy. So your only customers were Mr. Kudo and the victim. How many times do you need to ask the same thing? You never catch me drinking the same blend twice. You don't? How many different blends do you have? He's having his own country where the currency is just beans. Trying to establish the presence of a pony victim in the restaurant. But you're wasting your time. You can't grain bird seeds to make coffee. You catch my drift. Okay. There's a hole in this testimony somewhere, I'm sure of it. We got this word on lottery, yeah. So we became happy. Did you see him? No, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, yes, I'll have $500,000. Presumably, the defendant heard that too, then, correct? Maggie, she looked like a poor little frightened dove. What about Mr. Kudo? The old man choked on some birds. Choked on some birds and it got stuck in his throat. It seems we now have yet another incident on our hands. And what were they doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had a time to kill. I am a multi-talented woman. Why do you... First of all, you said to the judge you were a petite man. And now you say you are a multi-talented woman. So what do you mean? There is the renowned chef John Armstrong and a tragic poet Clarice Armstrong. Clarice? Oui, I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef and $500,000 of debt. Looking for a man who won $500,000 on a lottery. It's called Pourquoi? It means why. Perhaps I could recite it in la court. Was that all? Okay. Fine. You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred? He's the old man to call from La Payphone. But your own argument, right? The purpose of this pony victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear. No, actually, they said him to leave the place to call the cops. Which means that it could have already have happened. Huh? Ian, it seems like shadow of doubt has been lifted. Zip us. I guess Miss Armstrong is connected to this case, huh? Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Alien and refused to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time after all. But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too? He fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember? Ah, you mean that when the phony pony staged this act? And yes, I know I say pony. I know how pony is pronounced. I just like to say pony. We'll know for sure once I found a hole in this testimony. Okay, so 2 o'clock. Let's check something here. So it doesn't say a time. It was just supposed to meet the tiger. Nothing here. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Okay, so the new thing. I'm gonna try again here. Was it not that? Wait, just after 2 PM. This is a new one that I actually pressed out of him. The time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30. It's a big one. It's a big time here. I do not know. Ah! Yes. There we have it. I knew it was something about the time. I just couldn't find it. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. What? What do you mean? At the time of question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning number of the $500,000 lottery ticket. Wait, that was the showman Ellie was listening to. And it also says Ellie wrong, because we have something called an Ellie here in Sweden, which is a moose. I can't see a problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. Read the noner. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant 2 PM, correct? Oui, I'm sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I knew it was that time because I had just finished serving the lunch menu. Get to the point, right? If you have one. I do love you just chilling back there with a coffee and don't give a shit. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 PM. And it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30. Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy would have occurred after 2 PM. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. We got him! Heck yeah! This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a raptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There's only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, there is a mosquito in my room and it's still here. But it's too far to try and clap. Where are though? Where are those? Mosquito disappeared from my room. Not from my room, but from my eyesight. Somewhere here. Oof. Yes, there were 2 Glen Alleys in Tresbian that day. The real Glen Alley was dead, having been poisoned by the real killer. And a pony Glen Alley acting out the event for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy? Oh, quite a performance. We're almost on a roll. And your bullshit is what? Sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of written to build your song. Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. Pony Alley is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Alley is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court, however. At that time, the real Glen Alley was already dead. Well, that's certainly the obvious conclusion. What is this guy's deal? He doesn't seem to even bother doing anything. Thank you. Right. That's exactly what I was hoping for you to say. What? Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? Easy. Because if Maggie actually fainted, and was fainted for I don't know how long, she could have been in the kitchen. According to the old man's testimony, there were only one other customer there. If that customer was the pony Glen Alley, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? The kitchen! Because we actually found his medicine in there as well. Now I want to think of it, because technically this... Oh, welcome humble viewer to the stream I'm holding here. Yeah, I was about to say I found his medicine in the kitchen. Glen Alley is the victim. But I just thought it was the witness here, the chef, that just been sticky finger, because he apparently is that kind of guy. The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body? No conjecture, right? Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. What was this intense pressure in here all of a sudden? Yes, we're gonna find some evidence. I already know I was talking about it. It turned it all around and backed me into a corner. Sorry, but I think I have a hair in my eye. I have a fluff hair. Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real... Inside Tresbian. Would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tresbian. Interesting, but where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you care to show the court on these plans? Yeah, exactly. There we go. Kitchen! The body was hidden here. I see. Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where is the evidence? Easy. Yo! The medicine! Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? None. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me. Yeah, apparently he wants to fix some sort of aromatherapy. That doesn't really go good for him. Where was the bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interesting enough, Your Honor. It was found in the kitchen of Trespian. What? But I only ever use this bottle for my aromatherapy oils. But this bottle doesn't contain our aromatherapy, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Ali visited an otolaryngological clinic and was given a medication that day. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle matched the prescription that was given to Mr. Ali. Young Ali murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when did the incident occur? Didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Mon Dieu! Yes, you know what I am about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Birdie, however. You were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. Yeah, this is getting exciting. Order! Order, people! This is extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Ali? Never, I could not do such an horrible thing. What? Mr. Godot! The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. You have a slight idea of how many cups you've had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, Jack. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my age-defying efficient friend? You must demand pardon. Please, you must hear me out. Here. The age-defying friend. Hear me out, not here. Ear. It's a trap. Listen to me, por favor. Por favor. You hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. I'm only going to ask you once. No, none. Absolutely none. Let's hear it. You got one shot, right, Gramps? A witness. The court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie on the oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. I loved that to be a threat. Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel. It's clear. How long have I been playing now? 230. What do they always say in the movies? I got a bad feeling about this. Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong. I don't know why his voice changed. It's mostly just my throat right now that's just sore from this. Lemon water, though, helps a lot. It is true. I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with this because there was a reason why I could not refuse. I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me. Yeah, I believe you in that. You were forced? By who? I cannot say, or I will be erased. Let's try a different question then. When Mr. L died, was he really the only person at his table? There was another man. Bum bum bum. Oh, no, hold on. Why do I do it like that? That's how you're supposed to do it. Why did I do it with my mouth? I totally forgot I had it on that. Oh. Maggie was telling the truth. Yeah, she was. You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. Just one thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. The tiger who bite the other one's throat, more or less. Okay, so hold it. What? Did you carry the body by yourself? Oui, I carried him. I carried Maggie too. Maggie too? When she saw La victims collapse, she fainted. Yeah, we knew about that. You could not leave her there. But why did you hide the bodies? Yeah, because he was forced to. By whom? What man? Who was he? No, I cannot say. I fear for my life. I'm really scared. You just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick. Yeah, you're right. I won't tell him. But why would you go along with this man? I'm gonna try because they say put it in his mouth. I know exactly who did it. I'm just gonna put it out there. So... yeah. Because we said just put it on him. Let's end this dance of ring around the Rosie, Mr. Armstrong. This is the man you've been referring to. Who is that? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, I don't know. Maybe a month ago in this very courtroom. This man is Furio Tigre. He's manager of a loan office called Tenderlender. Oh, my nose is so itchy right now. Welcome, humble viewer, by the way, to the stream I'm holding here. Sorry, so I sometimes miss that, but I'm trying to say welcome to everyone that joins this. There's no point in trying to hide the truth. Now it's like, I think my hair is sticking in my eyes. It's just like scratchy everywhere. There's no point in trying to hide the truth anymore, Mr. Armstrong. I knew you couldn't go against Mr. Tigre, at least not while he had this on you. You mean... loan contract? Yeah, depth of a $500,000 loan. From a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, didn't you? That is why you were forced to do anything this man told you. Oui, it is as you say. Mr. Armstrong? Let I get it. It told me it was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting La victim to demand that they repay his loan. I don't know why it's happened like that. I just did whatever he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried the body of La inconscient Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After all, that I just tried to forget what I had seen. I think I can say one thing. That man who whoa! I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Furio Tiger. He's a weird ass dude. No, actually, I'm just sad about a girl he is with. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well? No, I knew nothing about that. I make it look like it was Maggie who had done it. It was not... it is despicable. Mr. Goddard, you will summon this Furio Tiger as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, but we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. Are you saying he's here? 30 minutes. Wait, what? The trial will go on. I'll see it to it myself. I'll need half an hour to get the guy on stand. Not a minute more. How the... Don't sit back and relax yet, right? No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. I know him. Because I met the tiger myself, and it's just a pain. This trial could go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We'll resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, the court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. What is... Something is just making my nose itch like crazy. Wow. Oh, sorry, but I just seriously need to more or less... Oh. Wow. That was awful. Ooh, that just scratched in my nose. I think I need to make these dice bigger. I tried to make a dice out of a 3D printer. I've noticed now that if I use a PLA filament, it goes very badly because it cannot do it in a certain way. But if I use a clear filament, it becomes more crystallized and easier to actually form. Because I actually have a dice here which I made. I even did it a bit big. But if I check some of these, they are better made than if I use the other filament. Or it might be because I used them very in another way. I can try the other way around. I'm just commenting some stuff here. Because each time I use the other filament, the white one, I feel like it becomes very gluggly, like rinny in a way. And if I try to use something that is like, if you can see like the corner of this dice where my thumb is, if I try to use something like that, it more or less becomes like smeared. But I did one with this kind of filament, which is technically a clear one, and you can see it's more better, I think. Like sure, there are some pinnacles here and there, but I think it's better. So I'm gonna see how to do that. But else, welcome, humble viewer, to the stream I'm holding here. Right now we're gonna try and summon the tiger. We're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. Hopefully. That hair is just annoying me. Sorry, I'm just gonna... And annoying my nose as well. We almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know what he testified is the truth. You mean, you don't think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hi, Gumshoe! Detective Gumshoe, yo! What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Hair's standing on edge. Hey, that's the pot calling kettle black. That's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Top Knot. It looks like a vegetable. Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. Get kinda wound up. I'm kidding. You gotta have something for me to do. Need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the prison. I'll get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour. Hour? Trial will have reconvened by then. I think we still don't have a real decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of a trump card to pull out the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprints analyzed done in an hour. You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints for me? Yeah, unidentified fingerprint. Oh, sorry. Ah, my nose. I know why, but it's starting to get so itchy. We're going back to the station anyway. Could you find out whose prints on this? Oh, hey, that's a small bottle I gave you back in this morning, right? We already used it as evidence, so it's fine right now. Yeah, I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnabbing at me too. Okay, I'll get this off the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. Yeah, I'm gonna try and fix it in half an hour. Yeah, it needs an hour. And we have a half an hour recess right now. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Well, we're back here. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Goddard, did you find this Fury tiger? I even tamed him. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Tamed him. The guy's name may be Fury Tiger, but come on. My nose is itchy, still itchy. It's pretty lively. Be careful, it still bites. I do trust that, to be honest. That guy bites. Very well, please show Mr. Tiger the stand. I'm gonna just say Tiger, it's so much easier. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Don't hide under the table, Maya, unless there is a room for me down there too. What do you say to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing, honest. I really suggest that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent. It's a Brooklyn accent, okay. Thank you for getting me that. I got business to take care of, you hear me? Who the hell calls me into this hole? No, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Oh, don't mind me. Just carry on with the proceeding as normal. Have you done it? Hear me? I said it. Who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What do you say? I can hear my own voice or feel my own voice just dying out right now. There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare, the relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. I just love how he's still down under. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about a stinking incident, mass boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Birdie? Maggie who? I have more important things to do than watching courtroom dramas. Oh, of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did in the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. You're the one who set this up, didn't ya? You're gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? I can almost not hear myself. Like, why? Is it my mustache that's going up now? I don't think so. It's something else. It's just irritating my nose. Get a grip, Nick. Maya, you get a grip. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up in business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got a whale as lined up to borrow cash from Tenderlander every single day. You just wanna check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Poor Violetta. Like, yes, she's creepy as shit, but when we actually talked about him using her, she actually started to cry. I actually feel so bad. Oh, at last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know the kind of games that your guy's blue plays. A lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000 and he's gonna borrow the cash from me. I don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with a tiger. Something tells me he's just gonna go with it, this guy. Ah, I love a good spectator sport. But just a minute, that's not really. This witness is... How can I put it? It feels like I have a hair on my nose that is just... Oh god! I can put it. Hungry tiger roaming for the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's head. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. Just bad listening. I said I got no business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. White. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest here. My stream is very empty right now. Technically, it's 15 minutes. I have been streaming for about 3 hours, even though that's there. But to be honest, my voice is completely dying. I can feel it. So I am